The signal came from the edge of known space. It was weak. It was broken. But it carried the weight of millions of dying voices. Captain Una Park sat in her command chair aboard the warship Silent Thunder. The bridge was dark, lit only by soft blue lights from the control panels. Her crew moved quietly around her. They had learned to work in shadows. All humans had. "Captain, we have something," said G1, her communications officer. He was young, barely 25. But his hands were steady as he adjusted his equipment. "It's a distress call. Coming from the Volari system." Una leaned forward. The Volari. She knew about them. Everyone in the Shadow Fleet knew about the peaceful aliens who lived on the other side of the galaxy. They were gentle creatures with silver skin and large eyes. They had no weapons. No soldiers. They believed in peace above all things. "Play it," Una said. The bridge filled with static. Then a voice came through. It was high and frightened. "Please, if anyone can hear this, we need help. The Krath have come. They are destroying everything. Our cities burn. Our people die. We have no way to fight them. Please, someone, anyone, help us." The message ended. Silence filled the bridge. G1 looked at his captain. "The signal is 3 days old. It took that long to reach us." Una closed her eyes. 3 days. In 3 days, the Krath could kill millions. She had heard stories about the Krath Empire. They were conquerors. They moved from world to world, taking what they wanted and destroying what they did not need. They had powerful ships and cruel soldiers. "How far is the Volari system?" she asked. 6 days at full speed," answered her navigator, a woman named Sumin. She had gray in her hair and scars on her hands. She had been flying ships since before Una was born. 6 days. Too long. Far too long. Una stood up and walked to the large window at the front of the bridge. Outside, she could see the darkness of space. Somewhere out there, people were dying. Innocent people who had never hurt anyone. For 200 years, humanity had hidden. After they discovered faster-than-light travel and ventured into the galaxy, they learned a terrible truth. The galaxy was dangerous. It was full of empires and alliances that had been fighting for thousands of years. And humans were something new. Something strange. They called humans Deathworlders. Earth was a death world. A planet of extreme weather, deadly animals, poisonous plants, and constant danger. Most species in the galaxy came from calm, peaceful planets. They could not understand how anything could survive on Earth. To them, humans were monsters, creatures born from nightmare, so humanity hid. They built their ships in secret places. They watched the galaxy, but never joined it. They waited and they grew stronger. The Shadow Fleet was humanity's hidden sword. 50 warships scattered across the dark spaces between stars. They protected human colonies and watched for threats. But they never showed themselves to the galaxy, until now. Una turned back to her crew. They were all looking at her. Waiting. "Contact Admiral Taeho Lee," she said. "Tell him we need to talk." G1 nodded and began working. A few minutes later, a hologram appeared in the center of the bridge. It showed a man in his 50s, with a hard face and kind eyes. Admiral Taeho Lee had commanded the Shadow Fleet for 20 years. He had never lost a battle. "Captain Park," he said. "I received the same signal. I know why you are calling." "Sir, we have to help them," Una said. "The Volari have done nothing wrong. They are peaceful people. The Krath will kill them all." Taeho was quiet for a moment. "If we help them, we reveal ourselves. 200 years of hiding ends. The galaxy will know about us." "Yes, sir. Some species will fear us. Some will hate us. We could start wars we cannot finish." Una nodded. "I know, sir. But if we do nothing, we let innocent people die. What does our hiding mean if we let that happen?" The Admiral looked at her for a long time. Behind him, she could see other officers moving on his ship. They were preparing for something. "I have already given the order," Taeho said. A small smile crossed his face. The entire fleet is moving to the Valari system. I just wanted to see if my captains agreed with my choice. Yuna felt relief flood through her. Thank you, sir. Do not thank me yet, Captain. The Krath are strong. They have hundreds of ships. We have 50. This will not be easy. Humans have never needed easy, sir. Teho laughed. It was a short, rough sound. No. We have not. Get your ship ready, Captain Park. We leave in 1 hour. The hologram disappeared. Yuna turned to her crew. You heard the Admiral. Battle stations. I want this ship ready for war. Her crew moved fast. They had trained for this moment their whole lives. Every human in the Shadow Fleet knew that one day, they might have to fight. Yuna returned to her chair and sat down. Her heart was beating fast, but her hands were calm. She thought about the Valari. She had never met one of them. She did not know their language or their customs. But she knew they were afraid. She knew they were dying, and she knew that humans did not let innocent people die. Across the darkness of space, 50 warships began to move. They came out of hiding places in asteroid fields and gas clouds. They powered up engines that had been silent for years. Their crews prepared weapons that had never been fired in real battle. The Shadow Fleet was rising. On the Valari homeworld, a young alien named Nolith stood in the ruins of his city. Fire burned all around him. The sky was full of Krath ships. His family was gone. His friends were gone. Everything he loved was gone. He had sent the distress call himself. 3 days ago. He had used an old communication device that his grandfather had built. He did not know if anyone had heard it. He did not know if anyone would come. The Krath soldiers were getting closer. He could hear their heavy footsteps. He could hear their cruel laughter. Nolith closed his large eyes and waited for death, but far away, in the cold darkness between stars, help was coming. The Deathworlders had heard his call, and they were angry. Yuna looked at the star map on her screen. The Valari system was marked with a red light. So many light years away. So many people dying. Sumin, she said. Maximum speed. Yes, Captain. The silent thunder jumped to faster than light. Around them, the stars turned into long lines of light. They were racing against time. 6 days. They had 6 days to save a world. Yuna did not know if they would make it in time. She did not know how many Valari would still be alive when they arrived. But she knew one thing for certain. When the Shadow Fleet arrived, the Krath would learn why humans were called Deathworlders, and they would learn to fear that name. Admiral Teho Lee stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Iron Dawn. Around him, his officers worked in silence. They knew what was coming. They knew what this mission meant. For 200 years, humans had been ghosts, stories told by drunk traders in dark corners of space stations, warnings given by old aliens to frighten their children. Be good, they would say, or the Deathworlders will come for you. Well, the Deathworlders will come for you. Well, once, well, most species believed humans were just myths, legends created to explain strange things that happened in the empty spaces between stars. Ships that vanished without a trace. Pirates who attacked colonies and were never seen again. Strange signals from places where no life should exist. All of that was about to change. Admiral, said his first officer, a woman named Mi-young. She had served with Teho for 15 years. She was small but strong, with eyes that missed nothing. All 50 ships have reported in. The fleet is ready. Teho nodded. Good. Open a channel to all ships. Mi-young pressed a button. Channel open. Sir. Teho took a deep breath. His voice would reach every human in the Shadow Fleet. 10,000 men and women who had trained their whole lives for this moment. This is Admiral Lee, he said. In a few hours, we will drop out of faster-than-light travel near the Valari homeworld. We will face the Krath Empire. They are strong, they are cruel, and they believe they cannot be stopped. He paused. The bridge was completely silent. For 200 years, we have hidden in the shadows. We watched as empires rose and fell. We watched as innocent species were conquered and destroyed. We told ourselves it was not our fight. We told ourselves we were not ready. Tejo walked to the window and looked out at the stars streaking past. Today, we stop hiding. Today, we show the galaxy who we are. We are humans. We are Deathworlders. We come from a planet that tried to kill us every single day. And we survived. We did not just survive. We conquered our world. And now we will protect those who cannot protect themselves. He turned back to face the hologram that showed all his captains listening. The Valari sent a call for help. They do not know who we are. They do not know we exist. But they called out into the darkness, hoping someone would hear them. And we heard them. His voice grew harder. The Krath will not expect us. They think they are the strongest force in this region of space. They think no one can challenge them. They are wrong. When they see our ships, when they face our soldiers, they will learn the truth. They will learn that there is something in this galaxy more dangerous than them. He smiled. It was not a kind smile. They will learn about Deathworlders. The channel closed. Tejo looked at me young. How long until we arrive? 4 hours, sir. 4 hours. In 4 hours, everything would change. On the Valari homeworld, Nolith was still alive. He did not know how. The Krath soldiers had come so close. He had heard their breathing. He had smelled their strange, sour smell. But then they had moved on, searching other buildings for survivors to capture. Nolith had found a group of other survivors, 20 Valari, hiding in an old underground shelter. They were mostly old people and children. The young and strong had been taken by the Krath. Nolith did not want to think about what was happening to them. He was only 20 years old by human counting. He had been a student before the invasion. He had studied history and languages. He had never held a weapon in his life. Now he was the leader of this small group. He did not want to be. But the others looked to him for hope. "What will we do?" asked an old female named Sira. Her silver skin was dull with dust and fear. "The Krath control everything. Our government has fallen. Our cities are burning." Nolith did not have an answer. He had sent the distress call days ago. No one had responded. No one was coming. "We wait," he said. It was all he could say. "We hide and we wait." But waiting felt like dying slowly. Above the planet, the Krath fleet orbited like hungry animals. 300 warships. Enough to conquer 10 worlds. The Krath commander, a massive creature named Vornak, sat on his throne and watched the burning planet below. "Report," he growled. One of his officers stepped forward. "We have captured 60% of the population. The rest are hiding or dead. We should have full control within 2 days." Vornak made a pleased sound. The Valari would make good slaves. They were weak and easy to control. Their world had resources the Empire needed. "Any response to their distress call?" Vornak asked. "No, Commander. No one is coming to help them. The nearest alliance is too far away, and none of them would dare challenge us." Vornak laughed. It was an ugly sound. "Of course not. We are the Krath. No one challenges us and lives." He did not notice the small blip on the edge of his sensor screen. He did not see the 50 ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel behind one of the planet's moons. The Shadow Fleet had arrived. On the Silent Thunder, Captain Una Park stared at the sensor display. 300 Krath ships. Her stomach tightened, but she did not let her fear show. "Admiral Lee is hailing us," said Jiwan. "Put him through." Tejo's hologram appeared. He looked calm, almost relaxed. "All captains, listen carefully. We are outnumbered 6-1. But we have advantages they do not know about. Our ships are faster. Our weapons are stronger. And our soldiers are Deathworlders." He pointed at a tactical display that appeared beside him. "We will split into 5 groups of 10 ships each. Groups 1 through 3 will attack the main Krath fleet and draw their attention. Groups 4 and 5 will move to protect the planet and help any survivors. Captain Park, your group will lead the ground assault." Una nodded. "Understood, sir." "Remember," Tejo said. We are not here to win a battle. We are here to save a people. Every Valari life we protect is worth more than every Krath ship we destroy. Fight hard, but fight smart, and show them what Deathworlders can do. The channel closed. Yuna turned to her crew. You heard the Admiral. We are going down to that planet. We are going to find survivors. And we are going to protect them. Her crew answered with determination in their eyes. In the underground shelter, Nolith suddenly sat up. He had heard something. A sound in his mind. The Valari had weak telepathic abilities. They could sense strong emotions nearby. What he felt now was unlike anything he had ever experienced. Anger, determination, hope, and something else. Something that made his heart race. Somewhere up there, in the darkness of space, something was coming. Something powerful. Something that was not afraid of the Krath. Nolith stood up and walked to the shelter entrance. He looked up at the dark sky filled with Krath ships. Someone heard us, he whispered. Someone is coming. Sira came to stand beside him. Who? Who could challenge the Krath? Nolith did not know. But for the first time in days, he felt something he had thought was lost forever. Hope. Above them, the Shadow Fleet began its attack. The myths were becoming real. The legends were coming to life. The Deathworlders had risen from the shadows, and the Krath were about to learn fear. Lieutenant Hana Choi checked her weapons one more time. Her rifle was clean and loaded. Her pistol sat in its holder on her leg. Her armor was sealed tight. She was ready. Around her, 200 soldiers prepared for the drop. They were inside the belly of the Silent Thunder, waiting in the landing craft that would take them down to the Valari homeworld. The air was thick with tension. Hana had been a soldier for 10 years. She had trained in jungles, deserts, mountains, and frozen wastelands. She had fought pirates and criminals in the dark corners of human space, but she had never fought a war like this. None of them had. Listen up, she said to her soldiers. Her voice was steady and clear. When we hit the ground, we have 2 jobs. Find survivors. Protect them. That is it. We are not here for glory. We are not here for revenge. We are here to save lives. A young soldier raised his hand. His name was Junso. He was only 19 years old. Lieutenant, what if the Krath are too many? What if we cannot hold them back? Hana looked at him. Then we die protecting innocent people. That is what soldiers do. But I do not plan on dying today. And neither should you. The ship shook. Captain Yuna's voice came through the speakers. Ground team, this is the captain. Admiral Lee has begun the attack on the Krath fleet. They are distracted. You have a window. Get down there and find those survivors. Good luck. Hana slapped the wall of the landing craft. You heard the captain. Strap in. We are going down. The soldiers moved fast. They sat in their seats and locked their safety belts. The landing craft detached from the Silent Thunder and began its descent. Through the small window, Hana could see the planet below. It was beautiful. Blue oceans and green lands. But there were also dark spots. Smoke rising from burning cities. Ships hovering over ruined towns. The Krath had done terrible damage. Hana felt anger burn in her chest. She did not know the Valari. She had never seen one in real life. But they were people. They had families and homes and dreams. And the Krath were destroying all of it. Not while she was alive. The landing craft entered the atmosphere. Fire surrounded them as they cut through the air. The ship shook and rattled. Some of the younger soldiers looked scared. Steady, Hana said. This is normal. Earth ships are built tough. She thought about Earth. She had only been there once. When she was a child. Her parents had taken her to see the oceans and the mountains. She remembered how beautiful it was. And how dangerous. Earth was a death world. Storms that could destroy cities. Animals that could kill with a single bite. Diseases that could wipe out millions. Humans had survived all of it. They had become strong because their planet had tried to kill them every day. The Krath did not know what they were facing. The landing craft broke through the clouds. Below them, Hana could see a ruined city. Buildings had fallen. Streets were filled with rubble. Fires still burned in some places. "Find a safe landing spot," she told the pilot. "I see one," the pilot replied. "Open area near the eastern edge of the city. No Krath presence detected. Take us down." The landing craft dropped quickly. It hit the ground hard but stayed upright. The doors opened, and Hana jumped out first. The air smelled like smoke and death. Hana pushed the smell away and focused on her mission. "Spread out," she ordered. "Teams of 4. Search every building. Look for survivors. Report anything you find." Her soldiers moved out. They were fast and quiet. They knew how to search ruined places. They had trained for this. Hana led her own team into the nearest building. It had been a home once. Now it was broken and empty. She found toys on the floor. Children's toys. She picked one up and looked at it. Somewhere, a child had played with this toy. Where was that child now? She put the toy down and kept searching. In space, the battle was raging. Admiral Taeho Lee watched from his bridge as his ships tore through the Krath fleet. The enemy was confused. They had not expected an attack. They had not expected anyone to challenge them. The human ships were smaller but faster. They moved like shadows, striking and vanishing before the Krath could respond. "Focus fire on their command ships," Taeho ordered. "Take out their leadership. Without orders, the Krath will fall apart." Mi-young worked her console. "Sir, enemy Commander Vornak is on that large ship in the center of their formation." Taeho looked at the tactical display. The ship was massive, bigger than any human vessel. It was surrounded by 50 escort ships. "That is our target," Taeho said. "All groups, converge on the command ship, break through their escorts, and hit them hard." The human ships turned and charged. They flew directly into the heart of the Krath fleet. On his command ship, Vornak was screaming orders. Nothing made sense. Where had these ships come from? Who were these creatures? "Commander," one of his officers shouted. "We are detecting signals from the attacking ships." They are speaking a strange language." Vornak grabbed the officer. "What language? Who are they?" The officer looked terrified. "Our computers are translating now. The ships are calling themselves Deathworlders." Vornak felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. "Deathworlders," he whispered. "They are real?" He had heard the stories. Everyone in the galaxy had heard the stories. Creatures from a nightmare world. Monsters who could survive anything. Killers who showed no mercy. He had thought they were just myths. His ship shook as human weapons hit his shields. "Return fire," Vornak screamed. "Destroy them," but his ships were dying. One after another, they exploded under the human attack. The Deathworlders fought like nothing Vornak had ever seen. They were fearless. They were relentless. On the planet's surface, Hana had found something, a hidden entrance to an underground shelter. She knelt down and examined it. "Someone is hiding in here," she said. "I can hear movement." She pressed her hand against the door and spoke loudly but gently. "Hello? Can you hear me? We are here to help. We are not Krath. We came to save you." Silence. Then a voice came through the door. It was weak and frightened. "Who? Who are you?" Hana smiled. "My name is Hana. I am a human. We received your distress call. We came as fast as we could." More silence. Then the sound of locks being opened. The door cracked open, and a silver face appeared. Large eyes looked up at Hana, with wonder and fear. Nolith stared at the strange creature standing before him. It looked like nothing he had ever seen. Soft skin, dark hair, eyes that held both kindness and danger. "You came," Nolith whispered. "Someone actually came." Hana knelt down to meet his eyes. "Yes, we came, and we are going to get you out of here. All of you." Behind Nolith, 20 Valari watched with hope they had thought was lost forever. The Deathworlders had arrived. And the storm was just beginning. The battle was everywhere. In space, ships exploded in balls of fire. On the ground, soldiers fought and died. The air was filled with the sounds of war. Sergeant Dongwoo Kim ran through the ruined streets of the Valari city. Behind him, 30 civilians stumbled and cried. They were mostly children and old people. He had found them hiding in a collapsed building, and now he had to get them to safety. "Keep moving," he shouted. "Do not stop. Do not look back." A Krath soldier appeared around a corner. It was huge, 3 meters tall with thick armor and 4 arms. It raised its weapon and pointed it at the fleeing civilians. Dongwoo did not hesitate. He threw himself at the alien, hitting it hard in the chest. The Krath stumbled back, surprised by the attack. Dongwoo pulled his knife and drove it into the gap between the alien's armor plates. The Krath fell. Dongwoo did not wait to see if it was dead. He grabbed the closest child and ran. "Go! Go! Go!" They reached a small bridge that crossed a dry river. On the other side, Lieutenant Hana Choi was waiting with her soldiers. "Sergeant Kim," she shouted, "get them across." The civilians ran across the bridge. Dongwoo counted them as they passed. 30, all safe. He allowed himself a small moment of relief. Then he heard the sound. Heavy footsteps, many of them, coming from the city. "Contact," one of his soldiers yelled. "Krath patrol coming in from the west. At least 50 soldiers." Hana made a quick decision. "Kim, hold this bridge. Do not let them cross. We need time to get these people to the evacuation point." Dongwoo nodded. He understood. Someone had to stay and fight. "Go," he said. "I will hold them." Hana hesitated for just a moment. Then she nodded and led the civilians away. She did not look back. She could not. Dongwoo turned to face the coming enemy. He was alone now. His fellow soldiers had gone with the civilians. It was just him and his rifle. He found a good position behind some fallen rocks. He checked his ammunition. "Enough for a long fight," he smiled. "Come on then," he whispered. "Let us see what Deathworlders are made of." The Krath came around the corner. 50 soldiers. They were big and strong and confident. They saw the bridge and moved toward it. Dongwoo opened fire. The first 3 Krath fell before they knew what was happening. The others scattered, looking for cover. They had not expected resistance. They had thought this part of the city was clear. Dongwoo kept shooting. He moved from position to position, never staying in one place too long. The Krath fired back, but their shots hit empty air. He was already gone. 1 hour passed, then 2. The Krath kept coming, but they could not cross the bridge. Every time they tried, the human soldier cut them down. They did not understand. How could one creature fight so hard? How could it keep going? Dongwoo was bleeding from a wound in his leg. His ammunition was getting low. His body screamed for rest. But he did not stop. He could not. Behind him, civilians were escaping. Children were finding safety. That was all that mattered. In space, the battle had reached its peak. Admiral Taeho Lee pushed his fleet deeper into the Krath formation. Human ships darted between the massive enemy vessels, striking weak points and avoiding return fire. Captain Yuna Park commanded her ship from the front. The Silent Thunder had taken damage, but it was still fighting. "Target the engines of that cruiser," she ordered. "Take away their ability to chase us." G1 worked his console, firing now. The Silent Thunder's weapons hit the Krath cruiser. Its engines exploded, and the massive ship began to drift helplessly. "Good hit," Yuna said. "Find the next target." She looked at the tactical display. The Krath fleet was breaking apart. They were losing ships faster than they could coordinate their defense. Human tactics were too strange for them. Human ships were too fast. But the battle was not over yet. Commander Vornak still had his command ship, and he was getting desperate. "All ships," Vornak screamed. "Target the planet. If we cannot win this battle, we will destroy the Valari world. Fire everything at the surface." His weapons officers hesitated. "Commander?" There are still Krath soldiers on the planet. I do not care. Fire. Now. The massive command ship turned its weapons toward the Valari homeworld. Massive cannons began to charge. One shot could destroy a city. Tejo saw what was happening. All ships! Stop that command vessel! Do not let it fire! But the human ships were scattered. They were too far away. They could not reach the command ship in time. Except one. Captain Una Park looked at the situation. The command ship was charging its weapons. In 30 seconds, it would fire. Millions of Valari would die. She made her decision. All power to engines, she ordered. Set collision course for the enemy command ship. Her crew looked at her with shock. Captain, G1 said, we are the only ship close enough. We have to stop that shot. Una stood up straight. This is what we came here for. To protect innocent lives. Even if it costs us everything. Her crew was silent for a moment. Then Su Min, the old navigator, nodded slowly. Course laid in, Captain. It has been an honor. Una smiled. The honor was mine. The silent thunder accelerated. It flew directly at the massive Krath command ship. Warning alarms filled the bridge. The crew held their positions. They did not run. They did not panic. They were humans. They were Deathworlders. And they did not run from death. Vornak saw the small human ship coming at him. His eyes went wide. Shoot it down, he screamed. Destroy it. His guns fired, but the human ship was too fast. It dodged through the fire like a dancer. On the bridge of the silent thunder, Una watched the command ship grow larger in her view. 20 seconds to impact. She thought about her family back on Earth. She thought about all the people she had loved. She thought about the Valari children who would live because of what she was about to do. Goodbye, she whispered. Then, at the last moment, another voice cut through. Captain Park, break off. This is Admiral Lee. Break off now. Una looked at her sensors. The Iron Dawn had appeared behind the Krath command ship. And it was not alone. 10 human ships had broken through the Krath defenses. We have this, Tejo said. Save your ship. That is an order. Una pulled back hard on the controls. The silent thunder turned sharply, barely missing the enemy vessel. Behind her, the Iron Dawn and its escorts opened fire. Every weapon they had hit the Krath command ship at once. The massive vessel broke apart, exploding in a ball of fire that lit up the darkness of space. Vornak did not even have time to scream. On the ground, Dongwoo Kim fell to his knees. He had been fighting for 6 hours. His ammunition was gone. His body was broken. But he had held the bridge. Not a single Krath had crossed. Around him, the Krath were retreating. Something had changed. He did not know what. Then he heard the sound of human boots. His fellow soldiers had returned. Sergeant Kim, one of them shouted. The Krath are running. We won. Dongwoo looked up at the sky. In the distance, he could see explosions. Bright lights in the darkness. We won, he whispered. And then he passed out from exhaustion. The battle was over. The Deathworlders had proved their legend. And the galaxy would never be the same. The fires were finally dying. After 3 days of fighting, the Valari homeworld was free. The Krath fleet was destroyed. Their soldiers were dead or captured, and the survivors were beginning to come out of hiding. Captain Una Park stood on a hill overlooking the largest Valari city. Smoke still rose from some buildings, but she could also see people moving in the streets, Valari and humans working together, clearing rubble and helping the wounded. Beside her stood Nolith. The young Valari had not left her side since she had found him in that underground shelter. He looked at his ruined world with sad eyes. But there was hope there too. We thought we were alone, Nolith said softly. We thought no one would come. We thought we would die in the darkness. Una put her hand on his shoulder. His silver skin felt cool under her fingers. You sent a call for help, she said. That was brave. It takes courage to hope when everything seems lost. You came so far. You did not know us. You did not owe us anything. Nolith looked up at her. Why? Why did you risk so much for strangers? Yuna thought about the question. It was a good question. The same question she had asked herself before the battle. Because that is what humans do, she said finally. We help those who need help. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. It does not matter if they are strangers. It does not matter if they are different. If someone is in trouble, we come. Nolith's large eyes filled with tears. Thank you. From my people. From my heart. Thank you. Behind them, a shuttle landed. Admiral Taeho Lee stepped out and walked toward them. He looked tired but satisfied. Captain Park, he said, excellent work. Your ground team saved over 50,000 Valari civilians. Yuna saluted. We lost good soldiers, sir. Sergeant Kim is in critical condition. Others did not make it at all. Taeho nodded sadly. I know. We lost 7 ships and 300 personnel. But we saved millions. Their sacrifice meant something. He turned to look at the city below. Humans and Valari were working side by side, building a new future from the ashes of the old. We have received a message from the Galactic Council, Taeho said. They want to meet us. They want to know who we are and what we want. Yuna raised an eyebrow. The Galactic Council? The organization that represents all the major species in the galaxy? Quote, the same. They have invited us to send a representative to address them. They are scared. Taeho smiled slightly. They did not believe Deathworlders were real. Now they know we are. And they are terrified of what we might do next. What will you tell them, sir? Taeho looked at her with serious eyes. I want you to tell them, Captain. You led the rescue mission. You saved Nolith and his people. You almost sacrificed your ship to protect civilians. I cannot think of anyone better to represent humanity. Yuna felt surprise wash over her. Me, sir? I am just a ship captain. You are more than that. You showed the galaxy what humans really are. Not just warriors. Not just survivors. But protectors. Guardians. Heroes. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small badge. It showed a picture of Earth, surrounded by stars. This is the symbol of the new human alliance, he said. We are no longer the Shadow Fleet. We are stepping into the light. And I want you to carry this symbol to the Galactic Council. Yuna took the badge. It was small but heavy with meaning. I will do my best, sir. 1 week later, Yuna stood before the Galactic Council. The chamber was enormous, filled with representatives from hundreds of species. They were all looking at her. Some with fear, some with curiosity, some with hope. Nolith had insisted on coming with her. He stood beside her now, showing the galaxy that Valari and humans were allies. Yuna took a deep breath and began to speak. For 200 years, humanity hid in the shadows. We watched your wars and your empires from afar. We saw species conquer and destroy each other. We saw the strong prey upon the weak, and we stayed silent. She paused and looked around the chamber. Many of you believed we were myths, stories to frighten children. You were wrong. We are real. We come from a world you call a death world, a planet of storms and predators and constant danger. We survived not because we were the strongest or the smartest. We survived because we learned to work together. We learned to protect each other. Her voice grew stronger. When the Valari called for help, we answered. We did not ask for payment. We did not ask for favors. We simply came because innocent people were dying. That is who we are. That is what Deathworlders do. She held up the badge Taeho had given her. From this day forward, humanity will no longer hide. We will join the galactic community. But I want to be very clear about something. Her eyes swept across the chamber, meeting the gaze of every representative. We will not conquer. We will not enslave. We will not become what we have always fought against. But we will protect those who cannot protect themselves. We will stand against tyranny and cruelty wherever we find it. And we will never, ever, turn away from those who ask for our help. She lowered the badge. The Krath Empire learned what happens when they threaten innocent lives. Let that be a lesson to anyone else who thinks they can harm the weak without consequences. The Deathworlders are watching. And we will come for those who bring suffering to the galaxy. she smiled softly. But for those who want peace, who want friendship, who want to build a better future together, we offer our hand. Humanity is ready to join the stars. Not as conquerors, not as destroyers, but as friends, as partners, as protectors. Una stepped back. The chamber was silent. Then Nolith began to clap. The sound echoed through the massive room. One by one, other representatives joined him. The clapping grew louder. Soon the entire chamber was applauding. Species that had never agreed on anything were united in their response. Humanity had announced itself to the galaxy, and the galaxy was ready to welcome them. Back on the Valari homeworld, Sergeant Dong-Woo Kim woke up in a medical tent. His body was wrapped in bandages, but he was alive. A Valari nurse smiled at him. "You are awake. That is good. Your friends said you held a bridge against 50 soldiers by yourself. They said you fought for 6 hours without rest." Dong-Woo tried to smile. His lips were cracked and dry. "Is everyone safe? The civilians I was protecting? All safe. Every single one. Because of you." Dong-Woo closed his eyes. Tears ran down his cheeks. He had done his duty. He had protected the innocent. That was all that mattered. In the sky above, human ships flew alongside Valari vessels. They were beginning to rebuild together. A new alliance. A new friendship. A new dawn. The Deathworlders had risen from the shadows. They had proven that the legends were true. But more than that, they had shown the galaxy something unexpected. Humans were not just warriors. They were not just survivors. They were hope. And the galaxy would never be the same.